liked. Like How to Make It in America was my favorite series on HBO. I'm so sad it went. The whole cast was just wonderful. Supporting cast was wonderful. It was like 3 seasons, 3 seasons. I love that show. I was so sad about that show going out the way. She's also was in a Bollywood film, which I'm like, we got to talk about that for a second. I love Bollywood stuff. I did that. Now she wrote and directed a short film comedy parody called Green Kola. We can talk about that. It's won some awards. We got some things about that there too. She was in Spenser Confidential on Netflix, directed by Peter Berg. I know who that is, of course, and Mark Wahlberg. We know who that is too. So she goes back and forth between her own projects, other people's projects. She's in something that just came out on Tubi, and we were just saying this on another show. Tubi apparently was the most watched channel out of all the channels out there. Apparently, like Tubi is the place. It beat Disney Plus. It beat Netflix. Like
Wow.
crazy. It's the place to be. And she's in a series that just came out June 20th called Lissa's Trip. She plays dual characters. It's about two Alex and Millie Macaw. My New York friend, we gotta talk. We gotta start talking. Alessandra Williams. Hello.
Hi, wow, what an amazing introduction. There's so much there.
And no, there's so much to come from.
I know, and that's only like a little piece of it too.
I know.
It's crazy.
Well, I mean, so
I forget sometimes. Time's going by so fast.
But I want to ask you a question about that because when someone starts to sum up a bunch of your work in sentences and stuff, how does that feel? Because people in this business die to be in this business for a long time and work and continually do stuff. You're doing it.
To me, I'm just kind of taking note of what projects stood out to you a lot. I'm like, oh, he liked that one, that. Like, because you're like picking here and there of different eras of time for me. It's not like just the most recent. So it's interesting.
Right. Yeah. Because like I said, you have a lot to choose from. So which is a great. Which is one that's like a great. That's an actor.
I feel very lucky.
Yeah.
I feel very lucky. Resilience is a lot.
Did you know, growing up in Manhattan, that this could be a profession? Did you really know that? You did.
I knew very young.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to do this since I was very little. And when I was about 8 years old is when my grandmother told me I could do it professionally. And I was determined from that age to be an actor. But I didn't actually pursue it professionally until I was a teenager.
And didn't you, in college, you go to Actors Studio? Did you do that too?
Yeah, so I'm a lifetime member of the Actors Studio. I go constantly. We just started our summer break on June 15th. So I've been going up until June 15th right now. It's like the real deal.
The real deal. I love it. Hi, baby. Oh my God, you're so cute. As you're saying, you're going to this school. It's all kind of free. It's a collective community at the Actors Studio. Why do you think practicing your craft is a great thing?
Oh, okay. Well, you must, in my opinion, you must practice your craft. It's like exercising. It's like practicing singing, practicing dancing, anything that involves a certain muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. And also, you're really doing a disservice to your creative process so that, because you're always growing, like there's no end in sight when it comes to acting. Like I could talk about it all day, every day, and still not be done. Like it's just the never ending understanding of the human condition and the psyche, and like what we're capable of is, it's so exciting and it is so addicting. So working on different characters, you learn about yourself as a human being. I think that's one of the things I like the most about it, because I feel my personality and my understanding for people has really developed working on character, because I'm diving into parts of myself and bringing parts of myself to these roles that maybe were completely shut down. Maybe I had no idea they existed. And then all of a sudden I'm doing these things and I'm discovering about myself and about the character. And you are the character all the time. It's not like different from you. Like you are it. It's just according to what parts you're showing at what time. And so, or revealing is a better word.
Yeah.
So, I think, what was the question? Like, what's important?
They just saying why practicing your craft is important.
Yeah, I just find it extremely important.
Yeah.
And it's just fun.
I would say
great.
It's fun. I would say it's fun. Right, it's fun.
Yeah, and then the thing is, when you get a job, you are ready. Like, there's no jumping to get ready. Like, you're ready all the time. So you can do anything. You're very flexible. And a director that can get somebody, an actor who's primed for anything, is a very lucky director, because everyone's like on the clock. We got to move. We got to move. If you can't just come and deliver now, and then you're hurting the whole production and wasting time and money, and thus not getting the greatest performance out of yourself even. I mean, I sometimes have done my best work without preparation, but that's only because I've been prepared my whole life.
Yeah.
So
I get that. I get what you're saying. No, the thing is, and she's saying at home, I say this on so many shows, like, people get hired over and over again because they're known for showing up, being ready, and delivering what the director needs, what the other actors need. That, I mean, somebody who's just, easily can just be fit right in.
Yeah.
Anybody with problems, people who don't know how to do nothing. They want somebody, because there's money involved, which is the number one thing.
Yeah.
Money, time is money is money. Lighting.
Every minute is costing a lot.
Yes, and you know this from directing stuff also, and acting on both sides. It's money. We don't have time.
Yeah. I'm very lucky to have been hired by like Peter Berg multiple times.
Yeah. That makes sense. They like you. They got good. It was almost like repertory theater. You have that group that you always kind of go to. Like, you hire some new people too, but like, these little 4 or 5 people over here, I know they'll do a good job. And he's probably like, Alessandra, we'll grab her, snatch her over here again, because I know she'll do it.
Yes, exactly.
Well, just speaking of that, because the Lissa strip is one of the latest things you're in, and you're playing a dual role. So tell us about that. You're playing 2 roles.
I know. I'm so lucky for that. It's like double dipping. Naughty. So I'm just like, I'm playing this like a lead supporting role of Alex, a painter, is her, and she's working with the actress Sofia Vassilieva, and it's sort of my fault a little bit that she ends up going on this psychedelic trip because of some things that happen at my house. And while she's on the psychedelic trip, I also play this animated character. So I'm not like physically on camera again, but I'm the bird. I'm Millie the Macaw.
Oh, how funny.
And so I created like a very realistic bird vision for myself. And I wanted her to be elegant. I felt like she was, Alex is more a little more scrappy.
I would say
scrappy, just a little more down to earth and scrappy, and just sort of at home, and doesn't wear makeup. She's just like in her sweats. She's just chilling. And Millie, I was like, no, Millie is one of the most beautiful birds I've ever seen. Like, she has every color on her. A macaw is gorgeous.
Yeah, macaw.
And macaws are like very loving. They love each other. They mate for life once they find each other.
Right, okay.
So in my research, that's sort of what made me play her in a way where I was like, I want her to be very romanticized in her voice and elegant.
Okay, wow.
She's a romantic.
Yes. I like that. It's so funny. Macaws are really beautiful. Folks, look them up. They're really beautiful. So you're playing opposite yourself then in some scenes, right? Or no? As the bird?
No, I wish. That would be amazing. But no, I haven't done that one yet in my career, but I'm waiting. You will. I totally will. I can't wait for that to happen.
So I think it's kind of cool. So in some scenes of the movie, you are totally earthy Alex going through, and in other scenes of the movie, you're this beautiful Millie the Macaw that's like doing her thing. That's very
cool. Like an apparition. Yeah.
I like that. It's very cool. When you read, I'm sure you're reading scripts. A script comes to your direction. You read them through, right? You read the scripts. What did you think when you read this script? So I'm playing a bird, and I'm also playing. What were your thoughts?
Well, I actually wasn't offered the bird role until after we shot the movie.
Oh,
Yeah. And then I guess the director liked me a bit in what we shot and called me and asked me, he's like, I really would like you to play this bird as well. And so I went back and did the voiceover sessions for that afterwards.
wow.
So originally I was just playing Alex, and I really loved that role because I love the actress Sofia, who plays the main lead, Sofia Vassilieva. I'm a big fan of her. She did a lot of great work. Like she was Eloise at the Plaza, and I knew her from the Actors Studio, and so we were friends. And she introduced me to the director, and so
Oh,
the director kind of shaped the role around me because I am a painter as well, like kind of as a vocation. Like I like
ah,
to paint. And
okay.
so he sort of shaped it around me. I'm not like someone who's like tripping on acid like Alex does, but
Yeah,
that's okay. Like
it's
a little
okay.
creative.
Yes.
It's not a movie about me. It's still a character. But so yeah, it was actually like he just in the beginning had sort of an outline of what the movie was, and then would send me the scenes like the day before we would shoot. Yeah, he was working as he went. Some people do that. He is really smart and talented, and he sort of is like a self-starter. And he's a Canadian director and has done a lot of like big TV shows as a director. But this was sort of his passion project, like his
Wow.
personal thing.
Wow.
So it was really nice to be a part of his passion project because he had like full say in what's going on
Yeah.
and full flexibility.
Yes.
It wasn't like a rigid like studio set, which was a nice thing to
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
we know there's a difference when there's studio
Oh
executives.
yeah, it's totally different. Like the studios, like you kind of have to do what they say, and you have to move a lot faster, and you have to have everything approved ahead of time. Where we're kind of like making the movie as we go, and that was a fun experience. It felt very collaborative.
So when you left, you play Alex like it's like a normal role. You play Alex. You're like, thanks for everything. Love you all. See you later. They say to you, he says to you, I want you to come back in to do a voiceover role. That must be so nice. It's like so like cool. Like, oh, we're not done yet.
So
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
You know what's the nicest part about it is that he was kind of expecting me just to like come in and just I don't know what he was expecting, just like a regular voice for the bird.
Yeah.
And when he heard what I came with for the bird, he was like, way to turn like a regular role into like he's like, there's no such thing as small parts, only small actors.
There
And
is it.
he's like, you are the perfect example of that. And when he told me that, I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad you said that because I really do care about every role I play, and I really want it to have a full life, not just it doesn't matter if she's a bird or not.
But it's so true. But see, but Alessandra, it's so true. It's like I did a role in a show that's also on TV. It's like called Studios.
Oh,
You know,
congrats.
I dabble a little bit in this. You guys are the real actors. I dabble in stuff. But I did a show
Oh.
called Studio City. It's out now, and I'm in episode two, and I'm the whole second half of episode two, with the star.
I can't
But
wait to see it.
I know it's fun. You'll it's so what it is. I play a really bad host. Like you see, I'm so nice
Okay.
right now and everything. In the show, they hired me because I am a nice person in real life. They said, "Why don't you play the opposite?" I was like, "Okay," so I'm a real mean host.
Oh, scary. My
They said I was
worst
good,
nightmare.
but I know what you mean. The thing was like when I came in, I really wanted to inhabit that person. Like you said, I wanted to make it authentic. I think that's what you're trying to say. Like you want to
Yeah.
come in and play all the parts of it, have fun with it, play with it, and just come in and make some extra. I did some extra touches here and there, which the director liked, and like you said, it's kind of like you're coming in committed, right? You're like, I'm coming in, and I'm here to work.
Yes, yes.
You
I'm
know,
so proud of you. I can't wait to see it.
yeah. Some folks, I know some folks, you can tell the reformers, they kind of come in and just do what this asked, and that's it. And you can tell there
There
was
are
something.
Yeah, there are actors who are like minimal actors, like they just come to get their paycheck and go home. They're not
You know,
artists, and I think that the actors that really last the longest, that have the most longevity, are true artists
I agree.
usually.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I have to ask you about so yes, it's on Tubi right now, and it's called Lissa's Triple Tomato again at the end. And that dog is just so behaving so
He's
well.
here to steal the show.
I know you are. Oh my god, you're a baby. Oh,
He's a bastard.
those ears are
I
killing me. I
know.
want to chew
She
on
looks
them.
like the stuffed animal I had when I was a
Oh
kid that
my
I was telling you about.
god, oh, she is. You're doing.
I rescued her. She's a good girl.
I know we rescue our dogs too. Same thing.
Oh,
Oh
good.
no, always rescue dogs. There's plenty of
Good.
dogs out there, folks. There's plenty of dogs out there that need.
Yeah, like don't get new ones, just get the ones that need you.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that completely.
They'll be grateful too. They're the best dogs.
Yeah, they're the most appreciative. They are.
Yeah.
They know they got a
Yeah.
home. They do.
Yeah, they're very grateful dogs.
You did it. So you did a Bollywood film,
Yeah.
or Anushka Sharma, who I know who that is because I've done Bollywood stuff. I wonder what was that like for you to do those
That was so incredible. It was the beginning of my mainstream career. I had done a lot of indie stuff before that, and that was my first like big studio project. And I shot all over the world. We shot in Mumbai, we shot in Thailand, in Phuket, and on the mainland, and we shot like in New Jersey and New York, and we just like traveled all around. I was a teenager when I got that part. There's so many stories I could tell you about this. Like, I don't even know where to begin. The way I got the role was essentially, I went into the audition having gotten my wisdom teeth taken out that morning.
Nice.
And my face was really swollen, like my cheeks were really big, and I couldn't talk that well. And I wasn't the best audition I ever did. And when I left, I saw that they were still casting, that my manager said that they were still casting, so I didn't get the part. And I said, that's not acceptable. I have to go back and I have to give them my actual audition because like I was not in my right mind to do it.
No, not with
yeah, I was like, I need another shot. Please get me another audition. So she got me the second audition. Well, actually, so I auditioned 3 times. The first one was just for the casting director. No chipmunk teeth.
Okay.
And I was great. And she was like, call back. So I did the call back with the directors and everyone with the chipmunks.
Okay, got it.
And then I saw they were still casting for that role. So obviously it wasn't for me. They didn't cast me yet. And so then I said, I need to go back. I went back. She got me the audition and she was like, they're going to see you again. But they said they want you to be more like a dancer because I also only got like a couple pages of the script. So I didn't know that she was a dancer. They were like, she's a dancer and she's like backup dancer to Michael Jackson. So go in there. I was dressed in like a dress and heels and makeup. And they were like, go in looking like a dancer, sneakers, leggings, like that. And I was like, okay. And I was like, not only am I going to go in looking like a dancer, but I'm going to do a full Michael Jackson dance. So I learned how I like got one of his videos and there's You Rock My World.
Oh yeah.
In that music video, there's a female dancer with a fedora and she does this whole like boom, boom dance. And so I learned that for hours and hours on end. Now my character doesn't even dance in the movie, but I wanted them to believe that I could be Michael Jackson's backup dancer. Okay. So I brought a boombox because that's what we had back then.
Yeah,
it was a long time ago.
I remember, yes.
There was it was like a boombox that I think you can put like an iPod flip.
Oh yeah. Yes.
You know, like the first ever.
Yes.
So I stuck that in there and I got to the casting director before the director and producers were there. And I just happened to be there just with her. And there was like some girls in the waiting room too. And I was like, I want to do this dance for them. Like I prepared this whole thing and I was telling her and she was like, you can't do that. And I was like, what? What do you mean? She goes, well, we don't have time for that. Just you do the scene and you leave. And I'm like, oh my God, Rita was her name. I was like, Rita, please, I worked so hard and I ran out and I bought this boombox and everything. Like, can I just do it for you at least? So I don't waste what I've done. And she was like, fine, you could do it for me. Come on. So it's just me and Rita in the room. And I put the boombox on and I start the dance. And that's when the director and producers show up to the session, and they are standing in the doorway watching me, and I don't even know. And I'm doing the whole thing for Rita. And then like towards the end of the dance, I noticed it's them, and I was like, oh, sorry. And I stop and I like shut the thing off, and I'm like, so sorry, I don't mean to waste your time. And they walked in and they started clapping, and they're like, very good. And I'm like, oh my God, because I was so nervous now that she said there's no time, that I was like wasting their time. And they're like, no, we love this. That was very good. Why don't we start your audition right from here? And I was like, sure. And they're like, let's just do the first scene. And I'm just like, okay. And then we just jump right into the first scene. And then I do the second scene, and then I leave, and I still don't hear anything for like a month.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh, it's not going to happen. So whatever. But at least I got to do my dance. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I get called by my agent, and she's like, you got the part, you're going to India. And I'm like, really? And now Yash Raj Films is a huge studio. It's like the Paramount Pictures of India.
Yes.
You know, right? So it was like no joke. And I was so excited. And it was my first time doing Bollywood. And my second story, I'll tell you, a very short one. There's like thousands, but it was quite the experience.
I love it.
But the second story that is really funny is that I got the whole, obviously I'm like a young actress, I'm in my teens, and I got the whole script in English. And when I got to the set, my very first scene was at this table. You know what's coming.
I do.
We're at this dining room table, and it's like the first scene I'm shooting, because obviously everything's out of order, and like I'm sitting with all of the leads, and I'm the fourth lead, and they're like about to break up the company, and it's like the climax moment of the film. And the director comes, he's like, okay, welcome, Alessandra, we're going to sit down and we're going to do rehearsal. And I'm like, great. And then everyone starts speaking Hindi, and I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like, go to the director, I go, excuse me, Harmeet, everyone's speaking Hindi. And he's like, this is a Bollywood movie.
Oh yeah, we get that.
I'm like, oh my God, I got the script in English. He goes, what did you think we were doing it in English? I'm like, yeah, I didn't think it was going to be.
Which they do sometimes. They do sometimes. Bollywood
they do, right? Probably. Oh my gosh. And I'm like, do I have to speak Hindi? And he's like, no, you are English. They're in Hindi. We're subtitle you. You're fine. And I'm like, oh my God. So then I had to like really pay attention to what they were saying, and like every sound and syllable that they made, so that I could know when my lines were gonna come. Luckily, I knew the scene so well inside and out. Like I knew what they were saying, even though they were speaking Hindi, and I kind of like learned Hindi in that moment. And then I learned that scene became like a really high-rated scene in the film. And he told me, the director had brought me one day into the editing suite and was like, look at the scene, look how amazing you're doing. Like, you look amazing. And I'm like, thank you so much. He goes, look at your listening skills. And I'm thinking like, well, I was really paying attention. And I learned, and I brought that into the rest of my career, that like when you're really listening, it's so important. It reads so well on camera when you're actually listening and having real thoughts in the moment. Yes.
You've said two things in both those stories I want to accent for people at home. One thing is active listening, very important, especially when you're acting. It's very important. Every actor will tell you when you're in the moment and you're listening to them, your performance is better. It's better. And
yes.
And the second thing I want to bring up that I think is just really great that should be accented is you never know. The divine intervention happens, and you never know. You never, ever, ever, ever know. And that's
like when they showed up.
Right. That's a beautiful
reference to that.
Never know. You never know. I mean, it's like just like God will bring them to you somehow. Like something's gonna happen. Like when you felt so strongly about it and you had worked so hard on it, it had to be seen they had to see it on some level, right?
I know.
And some people, and this is the thing that I try to be kind to the front staff, the folks who are like, because you see hundreds of people, they don't got time for your shenanigans, I'm sure. But sometimes they're a little rough sometimes. You're like, but no, I have this thing, I want to do this way. My audition could be the one that's really different. I'm sure they hear that all the time, I'm sure. but sometimes it's true. I guess sometimes it is true, and it may be.
Yeah. The director told me the reason he gave me the role at the wrap party.
Oh,
When it was all over, we had the wrap party. It was like 6 months after we
I'm
started
sure. Yeah, I'm
shooting
sure. Oh, yeah, yeah.
because we shot like in different times over 6 months. And so we're finally at the wrap party in New York City and we're all dancing. And he's like, I just want to tell you the reason I gave you this part is because you wanted it more than anybody. Isn't that so sweet?
He felt it. No, but that's what's
He
so great.
felt it.
He felt it. He was in
He
tears.
felt, and he saw that I had like came back and I fought to come back again and I didn't have chipmunk cheeks again and like and this time I came like really like looking the right part and I had a fedora and stuff. So
But I would say
that
that
fedora.
because I can, us New Yorkers, I have to say this. I think it's also New York spirit, where if you're from cities like New York or Chicago or LA, we are go-getters. We are people
Yeah.
who don't just take no for an answer a lot of times, and we be a little strong. I'll say strong, not pushy, strong. If we believe something, and because the elements are hard, the weather's harsh, and it's a
Mhm.
concrete jungle. We're in those subways half the time, but like part of it's just kind of for survival. I think
Yeah.
most of us are like, no, well, I'm going to fight for this. I'm going to study my craft. I'm going to do this. We know to think outside the box. I just think that
Yeah.
yeah, right. I think it's
Yeah,
like
you're
a very
so right. It's a mentality for sure.
yes
It's a
mentality.
learned mentality, yeah,
That's the
to
word.
just keep going.
Yeah.
My very first agent didn't love that about me, actually. She used to say I was too pushy,
So I said pussy.
but
They're going to say
some
that.
people didn't want you to be, yeah, she was like, you're too pushy. I was like,
I don't.
but I can't. But I won that role being pushy before I was ever with her. And I actually signed with her right after I did the Bollywood movie. So I think I was like, I learned that it works.
Oh
And
God.
so I probably kept doing it. Like I think I had told her, call the audition back, tell them I want another one. She's like, this doesn't work that way. And I'm like, yes, it does. I've done it.
You're like, no, I know, girl, but yeah, she's right. It doesn't always happen that way either.
It doesn't always happen
Yeah,
like
that
that. And
part.
sometimes you're, especially at a really good agency and an agent that's been there a long time, you should probably listen to them. So I
But
learned that.
sometimes, Alessandra, sometimes we do know ourselves.
Hmm.
I mean, and
Yeah, I mean, you just have to just like really have your intuition tell you and just follow your intuition. Yeah.
what do you like about directing?
Being in control of the final product
Yes.
because I I love I love editing
Okay,
the
you do.
film.
Okay. Oh, you do. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I also edit.
I
I've
like
worked
that.
with editors and I edit myself,
Okay.
and it's really a painful process because it's
Yes.
so tedious,
Because
but it is building the film. And directing is like collecting all the ingredients, which is really fun because like you could get really creative with what you're collecting. And then when you're editing, that's like the construction of the outcome of the film. And there's such a satisfaction with like seeing the scene come to life. Like I become very obsessed and addicted. Like I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna work like 5 hours on this scene. And next thing you know, it's like 24 hours, I'm still awake and I'm like haven't eaten or had water, and I'm like, how did time go so fast? And that's how I know that I'm like really living in my flow and passion if I forget to eat and have water because I'm like obsessed.
yes.
So I love that about
But they
directing. It's
say
like,
that they say the films really are made by editors. That's the whole point, right?
yeah, they really are. And like usually the director is always sitting with the editor and
Right.
dictating what they do. Maybe they'll put a rough assembly together first and then you edit but with them. But sometimes I do it myself and it's just really, really very nice.
Of that. What was it like working with Mark Wahlberg? Wasn't working in his film. What was it like working with him?
I love working with him. I've worked with him numerous times. And he's always just like really classy and really elegant but he's quiet. Like he's not super chatty. I mean, he'll talk, but for the most part, he's conserving his energy for when he's on camera, which I super respect. One of the things I love most about working with him and Pete, because they also work together a lot, and I've worked on multiple films with both of them, is that not only do they use the same actors often, but they also use the same crew. And
Oh,
so you really get to know everyone, and it's like a family vibe. Like all the hair and makeup people are always the same. So whenever I see them, like every couple of years, I'll work with them again, and they'll be like, "You're back, hi!" And it's like so nice.
yeah.
It's such a great feeling to feel at home on a set, especially when all the stakes are so high. So that gives, I think they're really smart for doing that, and that's Mark produces a lot as well, and I think that's a part of his style that
Yeah.
he keeps his people together.
Smart. It's so smart. I mean,
So smart.
and the thing is, folks, if you, I mean, not everybody has the luxury of being on sets. Especially movie sets. It's sometimes long days, hurry up and wait, a lot of waiting around, lots of, maybe reshoots, 20 takes of something. But you're sitting there, you're there all day long. So you get to know the crew. The crew is the people you're talking to, hanging out with. They're there longer than you are half the time, and do it,
Oh yeah.
So you want to, I mean, the crew is everything. I guess when I'm on sets, I always try to talk to them, the craft service people, to the lighting folks.
Yeah.
I'm like, hi, how you doing? What's going on?
Everyone.
Yeah, talk to
Yeah,
everybody.
they're the best. And they're always the best to like hang out with after set too. Like go
Yes,
out to dinner and like, it's when we were doing How to Make It in America, I would say that was Mark Wahlberg produced that
yes, yeah,
show.
right.
And
Oh, I
I
know.
did that
Yeah,
like right after the Bollywood film. And when I signed with Innovative, and I had that agent, and she was amazing, and she got me so many jobs. Like obviously I got the jobs, but she definitely got me in the
yes,
right rooms. She was incredible. Um, she like handles young talent. I was one of her older people because I was like 17 or 18 when I was with her, and but she's usually like a younger. But she was amazing. And on How to Make It in America, we were such a tight knit family. Like the whole crew, the whole cast, all of us, every single week. At the end of that week, we would all go out to party in New York City. We would like get bottle service and tables and go here and go there. And we would stay together and just like have the most fun time. So then when we came back to set, it was like we blew off all the steam, we bonded, and then we got back to work. And it was like, that was some of the most fun times of my life, I would say.
folks. Like I said, I one of my favorite shows, the past 10, 15 years. Lake Bell was in it. Kid Cudi was in it when he was acting. He was in acting. I mean, just a great cast. Great premise of trying to make it in New York, trying to make it in America.
Yeah.
And just funny dialogue and interesting stories and great guest stars. I mean, it was just like it was a series that I found by accident one day. I mean, during the original run, I found it. I was like, oh, what's this? And it never got huge attention, but it was a hit. And I know people now were telling me, as I mentioned, when I say How About in America, I love that show too. I'm like, I didn't know there was people who liked that show.
I know there's a lot of underground fans.
Yes, had no idea.
They
I
really
said
are.
yes, they're
You know
everywhere.
who I
So
love so much from that show is Louis Guzman.
yes, oh yeah, yes, yes.
He is
He's a
such a
legend.
cool guy.
He's a
He's a
legend. Legend.
legend.
A legend. Yeah, he's a legend.
He's the best. He's the first
Hilarious
person
when I
I
saw.
met on set. I had
Hilarious.
known him already actually before I got the show, but when I got to the set, it was his scene. And when I was doing like a wardrobe fitting that day, and they were doing like Rasta Monster, uh, you know,
Yes.
and I went, and he was like so funny. I was watching him in his scenes. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's the best.
Yeah, folks, you know who he is. The character actor's been in everything, and he is in this series hilarious. Hilarious. It was
Hilarious. You could still go see the show.
yeah,
It's on
yes.
HBO
That's on
on
HBO.
Max.
I'm making
Mhm.
America. And it's very New York.
Very New York.
And I always say, shows that are made in New York and set in New York, they're their own character, like Sex and the City, your show.
Hmm.
New York's a character. And we were saying this earlier about that. We're talking about the Upper West Side. So we're talking about that. It's a character.
It really is. It has such a life here. Such an intense energy. I actually know something about New York City is that it is on top of a magnet. There's a couple magnets in the world, and there's like a magnetic pull underneath New York City. And so it's like makes a lot of sense that everything went and
Yeah.
came here. Yeah,
Yeah.
the earth actually created this.
Wow. I
Yeah,
always
there's a
say New York.
reason it's electric.
No, I believe I said New York's my magic city. I mean, it just is. There's something when I get there, I feel it when I land, and I feel it the whole time I'm there. It just there's just right. There's certain places you go, you feel the electricity, and that's what
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
pick New York all day long. I just think it's a. If you have not been, folks, you need to go. You need to
You
go.
must come. It's the best. And the people here are literally the best. Like
They are.
a stranger will save you if you're in trouble. Like no matter what, you will always, if you're having a rough day, you just go outside and everything changes. Like it is a magical, magical, serendipitous
I
city.
agree.
Like everything is magic here.
Alessandra, you are wonderful. We have to talk again sometime. You are amazing.
I know. I love talking to
I
you.
love like you too. I think you're great. So the movie she's in right now, one of her latest projects is Lissa's Trip. It's on Tubi. Seriously, Tubi is the place that everybody's going right now to watch their movies and stuff. It's free. Check it out. Say James sent you. Go over there and see what she's talking about in this film. Are you on social media at all?
I am. I have Instagram only because I only have the brain width for one place. So I have my account is at Taste the Vino, which I used to love wine and be like a wino, but not so much anymore. I realized like I was like I'm going to be a sommelier, and I realized that just means professional alcoholic, and I was like I don't know. I think I'm gonna
I
go a
love
healthier
wine.
lifestyle now. So
I love wine. I drink a
I
lot less than
know.
I used to too. I drink a lot less than I used to. I
Yeah.
do like
Yeah, me too. Me too.
taste
But
the
it's okay sometimes. It's healthy for the heart.
no. They said I do. They said a
Mhm.
glass is fine. That's not overdoing it. I mean,
Mhm.
I get
No,
glass.
no.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
fine. Um,
Yeah.
but taste the Vino. I'm gonna follow you. Make sure I follow you. But go
Oh,
follow
great. I'll
her
follow
over
you back.
there. And I'm James Lott Jr. So I'm everywhere at James Lott Jr. Thanks for watching Extra Connections. We're on Facebook. We're everywhere else, and we will see you next time when we connect with someone else.
Yes, I can't wait to see you in person.